Hey everybody, Father Andy here for another 5 minutes with Father Andy, your weekly peek into the happenings here at the parish. Okay, let's jump in for this weekend, February 8th and February 9th. So we have come to the 5th Sunday in Ordinary Time, and yes, this weekend also includes Super Bowl Sunday, but it's important to tune into Jesus before we tune into the game. So let's do that. So in our gospel for this Sunday, we hear Jesus tells Simon Peter, "Put out into deep waters and lower your nets for a catch." Now, Simon does what Jesus tells him to do, but not without a little bit of disbelief. So after he lowers the nets, Simon catches so many fish that the nets are actually tearing. And seeing this astonishing catch of fish, Simon falls at the feet of Jesus and he says to Jesus, "Depart from me, Lord, for I am a sinful man." Now, have you ever kind of thought that Simon's response was strange in this situation? Why did he fall at the feet of Jesus and confess his sins like that? That seems a little odd, maybe. Well, for Simon, it seems that this catch of fish was more than just a lucky break after a slow night at sea. Something about this moment was a revelation to Simon Peter about who Jesus actually was. And when Simon Peter realized that he was in the presence of the Holy One, Simon was just overcome with his own sinfulness and his own unworthiness in the presence of Jesus. Now, pay attention to Jesus' response when Simon Peter confesses his sinfulness. Jesus doesn't say, "Oh no, Simon, don't talk like that, you're just fine." And Jesus doesn't say, "Yes, Simon, you're a horrible sinner, depart from my presence." Instead, Jesus says, "Do not be afraid. From now on, you'll be catching men." So here, Jesus doesn't disagree with Simon, and neither does he condemn Simon. Rather, Jesus focuses Simon's attention on moving forward with him. You see, as humans, we tend to do one of two things when we come face to face with our own sin. We either, one, downplay it and tell ourselves that we're just fine, or two, we allow our sin to just crush us. But Jesus wants us to humbly face our sinfulness and then hear him say to us, "Do not be afraid." He doesn't want us to get stuck in our sin and our struggles, but he wants us to focus on moving forward with courage and with conversion, trusting that he will be with us every step of the way and that he will give us his grace to bring about that change in our hearts. So may we hear Jesus speak to us this week in our struggles, "Do not be afraid," and may we focus on courageously moving forward, trusting in his grace. Okay, next, we are continuing our parish spiritual pilgrimage through the book, 33 Days to Eucharistic Glory, and we are almost to day 33. So on the weekend of February 15th and 16th, we will have spiritually prepared ourselves and we will make our act of consecration to the Eucharist at all of the Masses. What will this act of consecration be? Well, at all the Masses that weekend, we will take a moment at the end of the petitions to pray a particular prayer together, offering ourselves to Jesus in the Eucharist and surrendering our lives to him and asking him to transform us entirely by his life and his love. At the end of the book, there's a prayer of consecration, and we're going to pray together a form of this prayer. It won't be the whole thing, but we will have little cards available for you at Mass, so you don't have to worry about memorizing this prayer. And you might be wondering, well, what if I didn't finish the book? Can I still do this consecration prayer? Yes. So while we've taken this time as a parish to ready our hearts for the consecration to the Eucharist, your preparation doesn't need to take exactly 33 days. Simply put, if you want to give your life to Jesus in the Eucharist and you want him to have greater control in your life, then you can make this act of consecration. Furthermore, this consecration doesn't have to be a one and done occasion. You can consecrate and reconsecrate yourself to the Eucharist more than once in your lifetime. So, may the love of Jesus in the Eucharist flood our hearts, and may we become the saints that God made us to be. Okay, next. While many parishes of the diocese will be doing the 2025 Catholic Charities Appeal, in-pew appeal, next weekend, we're going to be moving the appeal to the following weekend of February 22nd and February 23rd. So given that we're doing our consecration to the Eucharist next weekend on the 15th and 16th, I thought it would be best to move the in-pew appeal accordingly. So be on the lookout for more information on this year's Catholic Charities Appeal in the next couple of weeks. And lastly, I am super excited to announce that in March, we'll be having a Lenten mission series. So we're going to host a 3-night series on the Eucharist, and our 3-night series will be called Eat Your Way to Heaven. Eat Your Way to Heaven. That's eat, E-A-T, which stands for Encounter, Abide, Transform. So this 3-night presentation will focus on what it means to encounter Jesus in the Eucharist, what it means to abide with him in the Eucharist, and what it means to go forth and transform the world by the life and love given to us by God in the Eucharist. This 3-night Lenten series is going to be given by popular Catholic speaker and podcaster Michael Gormley. Mike Gormley is the host of the Ascension Press podcast, Every Knee Shall Bow, and he has spoken all over the country at missions and at conferences, including the Steubenville Youth Conferences. So mark your calendars now for the evenings of March 24th, 25th, and 26th. We're still kind of ironing out the exact time, but you won't want to miss this 3-night Lenten series on the power of the Eucharist. Okay, that's it for this weekend. Please know of my continued prayers for you, and I will see you at Mass. St. Joseph, cornerstone of families, pray for us. God bless.